And then, finally, I'll let Alexi walk you through this on, if you do have to call him or do your own IR, what do you need to do?
Yeah, so some key tips, and we won't go too much in depth since you can review the slides later, but I think one of the biggest ones we see is the importance of dividing up work streams. You need someone who can be a bit more of an incident commander on your side, because it's so often that the IR folks or the security folks are turning to the bottleneck. And there's separate work streams, including the hardening process, rebuilding, and then injecting and investigating. They're all separate work streams, and you need to delegate those out. Otherwise, you're sitting there, threat actors are still in your environment, and you have other people in the organization who are technical, who are system owners, who are familiar with the environment, who have not been tasked with anything, and it's kind of business as usual for them. And they're just sort of running around, not able to help. If you task them and bring them in, especially if you plan ahead and have worked with them before, you'll get to a defensible point a lot faster. As far as hardening steps, so many of these campaigns are going to center around MFA and trusting the user in cloud platforms or VPN, that sort of thing. So I won't go into all the details there, but there is a sequence of events you can use, and we're publishing a quick response guide on this shortly, where you're going to want to go through these processes. And we just want to share a particular anecdote where an organization with, I think, at least 20,000 users was able to get MFA pretty fairly rolled out with number matching in less than 2 weeks. So obviously it's easier when you're going through an IR, but you can go through pretty fast. And then other quick items here, just identifying threat actor sessions, protecting those security portals we talked about. You mentioned vault searches. So all these security tools are great for you, and unfortunately they're great for the threat actors who realize that they can target them and get away with a lot of really nasty stuff. And then I think during an IR, when information is pretty new, you have folks that are discovering something new that looks like it's bad, and then everybody gets spun up and is digging into it. And that is a normal cycle to see folks go through. But if you can kind of adjudicate that a little bit more patiently and more focus more on understanding what's happening in the environment more broadly, rather than chasing after, these sort of red herrings, kind of like little kids playing soccer, they all just run towards the ball, and just a cluster of kids like trying to chase this object. I think sometimes in early stages of an IR, organizations are going to behave like that. And if you can break it up and be a little bit more calm and more touch point, check in focus, you'll be in better shape.